Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back to Linger Longer with Books. My name's Catherine, and in this week's video I'm going to be chatting through some spellbinding witchy reads. In honour of Halloween this week on Friday the 31st of October, I thought that I would just run through my ever-growing collection of witchy related books or witchy inspired books. There are a few here on my book cart that I'm hoping to get to soon. There are books that I have recently read. There are books that I hold quite nostalgically on my bookcases, and there are really sort of creative formats of witchy stories that I wanted to share with you. So let's just dive straight in. I thought that I would start with a book that I have recently read, and that is Rewitched by Lucy Jane Wood. First off, it immediately kind of stirs up those witchy vibes with the golden stars. You have the cat, and you have the magic coming out of Belladonna Blackthorn's fingers. And this Belladonna is our main character in this debut novel from Lucy, which came out last year, and I've been meaning to read it ever since that point. Belle is about to reach her 30th birthday, and she is summoned by her coven to kind of, I guess, revalidate and get her full witch powers approved by her coven forevermore. Is she up to the cut or not? Does she make the cut or not? So we find with Belle, she works in a bookshop. She has quite a toxic boss there, quite difficult circumstances. She wants to take on the bookshop herself, so she's kind of niggled by self-doubt, and then she's thrown into this kind of whole new full-on witchy world where she has to kind of go through various challenges, which I'm not going to sort of detail very much because I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't yet read this and want to. But at the heart of this book is what struck me about it really is the really lovely, strong, nurturing, comforting friendship she has with her best friend Ariadne, who's her flatmate. She has a really kind of healthy and respectful relationship with her mum. Her mum is her biggest cheerleader, Bonnie. And I think my favourite kind of aspect of this story was Belle and Asturias. So he has been cast out again. I'm not going to reveal why. He's been cast out by the coven. They're kind of the two, Belle and Asturias, are kind of thrown together in kind of unexpected circumstances. They're very different characters, but actually they strike up a really kind of enduring friendship. So this is all around found family for me and really strong friendships. So if that appeals to you, then I would absolutely pick this one up. This, like I said, is Lucy's debut novel. I also own Uncharmed, which is Lucy's second novel. So I think I'm going to have to keep that for next autumn to read. It's beautiful. Look at those sprayed edges. Because I'm going to run out of time, and I think once October finishes in my mind, then I need to get on to even sort of darker reads, essentially, not even darker because these aren't massively dark. But anyway, there's that one. I am currently reading Best Hex Ever by Nadia El-Fassi, just appreciating the purple. And this cover has got it all going on, I think, in terms of witchy essentials. We have the potion bottle, we have the lit candles, we have a mixing bowl. And because of the plot of this particular novel, which is Dina, she's a skilled kitchen witch and a cafe owner. We have elements like cinnamon rolls, they look lovely, a rolling pin and a whisk. And we have a bowl with the magic eye. And this particular story is all around Dina, as I said, and there it looks like there is a guy called Scott, a museum curator, and it says, perfect for fans of Talia Hibbert and the very secret society of irregular witches, best hex ever is a cozy, spicy and spellbinding fantasy romance. So I shall report back soon on this. I've only just started it, and you will be pleased to know, fans of purple, I also have a purple bookmark in there. And never one to, well, with bookish FOMO, it's a real thing, isn't it? So not only am I reading that one, I've also just bought Nadia's newest story, which is Love at First Fright. So again, fully appreciating the purple theme and the colours. So this one in particular is around, it says a successful horror writer whose novel is being adapted into a movie clashes with the lead actor on a set in a haunted mansion. That sounds like a lot of fun. Again, I'm not sure if I'm going to get that to that this particular year. It might be on my 2026 TBR. I think I'm going to pair these two together, almost like I have with these two. So yeah, if either of those appeal to you by Nadia, then absolutely get your hands on copies, however you do that. I'm going to move genres and formats slightly now from obviously the traditional novel like I just showed you, but I want to chat a little bit about, you can't see them very well, but graphic novels. Graphic novels are books that I've probably only been reading last 5 years or so, I would say, probably around the pandemic, where I think we were all looking for sort of different creative outlets, and probably something different in amongst the monotony of the lockdowns. So I think that's when I first kind of discovered Witches of Brooklyn by Sophie Escabasse. I think it probably was online somewhere, can't remember. But this story of young Effie, she goes to live with her 2 aunts in Brooklyn in America. And what she discovers is that her 2 aunts are witches, and she is drawn into their world. And I'm just going to flick through some of the beautiful colour illustrations. I always think graphic novels are like their best when they're in colour. Let me know if you agree with that. But I have Witches of Brooklyn and the follow-up, which is What the Hex. I don't know if there's any more in this series. Let me know if you're aware that there are. This is, Effie has kind of friendship problems, and I think the power of the magic between Effie and her aunts ultimately kind of good prevails with it, and they teach kind of naughty or bad people a lesson. So I think there's some morals running through it. But again, I'm absolutely loving the purple. Purple is my favourite colour, so I'm naturally drawn to purple books. And don't you think that there are not that many purple books in the world, and that there are more coming out now? Is it just me? I feel like there has been a lack of purple books in the world, and now the world of publishing is waking up, and sort of autumn, Halloween, witches gives the perfect kind of opportunity for the purple shades and tones to come out. So I feel like I want to do like a campaign for more purple books, but let me know if you agree with that as well. Other graphic novels that I have, which I actually haven't read yet, is The Sad Ghost Club by Lisa Meddings. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. I have book 1 and 2. I don't know how many there are in this series. It might tell me. These are published by Hachette and Hodder's Children's Books imprint. But I bought these when I went to 66 Books on one of my trips to that fantastic warehouse, which I shall try and link a video below. A warehouse full of new books, usually priced at 70% off RRP. And I picked these 2 up. I'm sure these were the only 2 that they had. But anyway, these are in black and white. So that's okay. These are going to be obviously quick reads for many people. They're not very long. And it says, this is not a sad story, though it begins with a struggle and anxious swirling thoughts. But some days, even the worst of days can surprise you. Join the Sad Ghost Club and find your kindred spirits. You are not alone. So that sounds quite comforting, quite uplifting. And then the second one here is, this is a story about what happens after you find your kindred spirits. So I think that is a theme running through that sort of golden thread of perhaps feeling different, perhaps feeling other, but what that sort of joy and that sort of happiness when you find someone in your own tribe, and that might be a ghost, it might be a witch, it might be a vampire, it might be a werewolf, whatever. But these two are ones that I want to read. I'm hoping I can get to them fairly soon. They won't take me long, but obviously I just need to carve out some time in amongst everything else. So those are 4 graphic novels there, but there is one here on my book trolley I wanted to share with you as well, and that is Mooncakes, and this is my latest graphic novel purchase. This is by Wendy Zhu and Suzanne Walker. I heard of this probably on a fellow YouTuber's video or social media somewhere, and I just had to get my hands on it. So I went onto World of Books, a sort of a website, and it has millions of discounted secondhand books. It also sells new books, but I found it on there fairly recently. I think I have featured it in one of my recent videos. But this has a whole different colour palette, as you will see. It's kind of oranges, yellows, pinks, burgundies, etc. Then it goes on to sort of purpley tones there. But what is this one all about? It says, one fateful night, teen witch Nova Huang follows reports of a white wolf in the woods and discovers her childhood crush, werewolf Tam Lang, battling a horse demon. Okay, you get the impression there are witches, there are horse demons, there's a werewolf. That sounds like a lot of fun. I really like the kind of the warm kind of coziness of the cover as well. So hoping to get to that one. It's on my book trolley, so there is a solid commitment for me to read this. But let me know if you have read any witchy related graphic novels. Are you a fan of graphic novels? Are there any that you can recommend to me in particular? I'd love to know. I'm always on the lookout for new graphic novels to pick up and enjoy, so let me know about that. I'm going to take us now to my book trolley here, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4 other books that I wanted to chat about with you. Maybe they will inspire you to pick copies of them up yourself. And well, I've had them on my book trolley most of the year, either as they've arrived as pre-orders, or I have found them at amazing prices in secondhand shops. So without further ado, the first one here is The Teller of Small Fortunes. This has been on one of my monthly TBR lists fairly recently. I still haven't got to it. I would still love to get to this before the year is out. This is by Julie Leong. I absolutely adore this cover. We have our main character, Tao, who is an immigrant fortune teller, travelling between villages with her trusty mule for company. There's also a cat here. There's also a candle. It just looks like this is going to be full of adventure, full of possibility. And it says she tells only small fortunes, whether it will hail next week, which boy the barmaid will kiss, when the cow will carve. She knows from bitter experience that big fortunes come with big consequences. Even if it's a lonely life, it's better than the one she left behind. So I'd love to read this. I bought this last November when I went to Boston. I can see it cost me $19. It's published by Penguin Random House. Let me know if you've read this one already and what you think. Obviously, if you are not a massive fan, then yeah, I don't want sort of negative feelings or negative comments. But I love the fact that this is quite floppy as well, which is a total side note, I know, but American copies and editions can be known for their floppy kind of paperbacks. So this is a regular size paperback and not a larger sort of trade size. But yeah, I have this one, so really looking forward to getting to that one. Next, I have The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. This has been popular with many readers around the world. I believe her next novel is already out as well. This was published last year, 2024, and it is published by Pan Macmillan. And I have to say, the cover did draw me in. It's got kind of the mossy greens. It's kind of got the cozy cottage, but what is inside the cottage? It's the way that the light falls on the cottage makes you think that it's otherworldly, and who and what is inside, and obviously from the title, what spells are afoot. But this one says it's a faraway island, a secret spell shop, and unexpected romance. So all of those different kind of things combined make for a really intriguing read for me, I think. I picked this particular copy up from Chapters bookstore in Dublin that sells a huge amount of secondhand titles in various conditions and priced kind of accordingly, as well as new titles. I would highly recommend a visit if you are in Dublin in Ireland anytime soon. But I picked this up for €6.99, so that's €7, so that's probably around £6 in British, not sure what that is in any other currencies. I love the fact that it's a large paperback, it's in great condition, and this really just jumped off the shelves at me. And this is just reading a little bit more of the blurb. It says, Keela has always had trouble dealing with people, and as librarian at the Great Library of Elysium, sorry, I mispronounced that, she hasn't had to. She and her assistant Kaz, a sentient spider plant, have spent the last 11 years sequestered among the Empire's precious spellbooks. But when the library goes up in flames, Keela and Kaz have to flee to the faraway island where she grew up. Well, that sounds amazing. That sounds completely original. I mean, I've not read any other books with the sentient spider plant in it at all. So that sounds like a lot of fun. Really looking forward to getting to that. I'm not sure if I will get to that right now, but it's on my trolley, so the commitment is real. It's not going to fade. It'll go straight onto my 2026 TBR if I don't get to it soon. So two of those. We've already spoken about Mooncakes. The next book is Nevermoor, The Trials of Morrigan Crow by Jessica Townsend. This is a hugely popular series here in the UK. Let me know if you've heard of it, if you live outside of the UK and have heard of it and like the series. This is an ex-library copy. It's in great condition. It's kind of got this lovely plastic cover which protects it, so it's a little bit shiny on the camera. But this says, step boldly. Morrigan Crow is cursed, destined to die on her 11th birthday, but as the clock strikes midnight, she's whisked away by a remarkable man called Jupiter North and taken to the secret city of Nevermoor. There she's invited to join the wondrous society. Mystery, magic and protection are hers if she can only pass 4 impossible trials using an exceptional talent, which she doesn't have, ... This is probably for middle graders. Not sure what age it's actually pitched at. Let me know if you know. It's probably around, I'll say 300 pages. How many? Oh no, nearer to 400. So yeah, really keen to get to this one. Again, it will slip onto my 2026 pile if I don't get to it very, very soon, because October is nearly over. So there's that one. Pardon me. And then the last book I wanted to chat about on here right now, pop some of these back for now, there we go, is A Resistance of Witches by Morgan Ryan. This is a book that I saw earlier this year online, probably on a publisher's website or social media, and I pre-ordered it. I knew that it instantly kind of caught my attention. And that's because this particular book is set in Britain during the Second World War. It's set in 1943. It says the year is 1943. Hitler's armies are rampaging across Europe and the witches of Britain have joined the fight. Now, I don't need to know much more than that. That sounds incredibly interesting, kind of plot and timing in which to set a story. I don't think that's ever been done before. Let me know if you know if it has. But it says, stubborn, plain-spoken, and from an unimpressive family, Lydia Polk never expected to be accepted into the Royal Academy of Witches. But now the Academy has joined the war effort, and Lydia is key to the cause, using her extraordinary craft to track down magical relics that could help change the course of the war before Hitler and his cronies can. There looks like there is a Nazi witch to feature. He or she is going to infiltrate the academy with devastating consequences. That sounds superb. Congrats, Morgan. I haven't even read it yet, but that sounds so fascinating and so gripping. I'm really looking forward to reading that one. And look how beautiful the cover is. We have swirls of green, we have the black, we have the gold stars. We have parachutes, we have planes. It's just a gorgeous cover design. This is published by Bantam and it came out this year, if my brain serves me correctly. Published by Penguin Random House this year. So there you go. These are just a handful of books on my witchy bookish radar that I'm hoping to get to very soon. I do feel that I'm going to need a specific bookshelf for my witchy reads because it's growing and it will keep on growing with books that I accumulate because I am drawn to this time of year. I love autumn, as I've mentioned in my other videos. I love the fact that we are just about to sort of see Halloween. A tradition of mine, or a tradition that I've sort of made, is to watch my favourite film from my childhood related to witches, and that is Hocus Pocus with Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker and Kathy Najimy. I'm not sorry if I mispronounced that name. But I have Friday off work this particular year, so I'm going to get really cosy with some nice snacks and treats and drinks and settle down to watching Hocus Pocus and also reading some more of Best Hex Ever, my current read. So thank you for watching this far. Those of you who've been around a little while now know that I do a bit of a call out to you all, just asking you to pop an emoji in the chat if you have watched this far. And I think given that it is witch related, my favourite emoji that I'm using a lot at the moment is the purple kind of magic ball. If you can find that, pop that in the comments below. Let me know if you have read any of the books that I featured, or if you're keen to get to any, if it's kind of inspired you to pick any of these titles up. I would love to know what your thoughts are. Are you... Well, you must be a fan of witchy books because you wouldn't have watched this far or clicked on this video in the first place. But I hope you have enjoyed me taking you through books I've read, books that I'm currently reading, books that I have started to collect, and then books I've got on my radar to read soon. I hope you're all doing really well this week. The sun is out at the moment as I film this. I love this time of year. The leaves are all falling on the ground. It is getting a bit chillier. The heating is going on here. The clocks have just gone back here this morning, so that means we've had an extra hour in bed as I film this on Sunday, although you will see this from Monday evening onwards. But yeah, I hope you're all doing really well. I hope you've got a great current read on the go, whether that's hardback, paperback, audiobook, however you kind of lap your storytelling up. And whether that might be non-fiction as well. Let me know. I know that I've just concentrated on all fiction here, but let me know also if you've read any great kind of non-fiction accounts. I know there's quite a lot of stories, sorry, not stories, but as in accounts of the history of witches, the history of witchcraft. I know that Grady Hendrix was really especially inspired by a lot of the kind of the accounts that he read when he, in preparation for his, can I reach it? I didn't think this through. When he wrote Witchcraft for Wayward Girls. I haven't featured that in this video because it's been featured in previous videos a few times. But yeah, are there any books out there that you would recommend to me for me to learn a little bit about witches over the centuries, probably from the 15th century onwards, I would say, in sort of mainstream collective consciousness. But I know that the history of witches go back way earlier than that. But anyway, I shall say bye here, because I am in mortal danger of rambling, which is no good. I need a spell for me to not ramble, don't I? That would absolutely help me in a lot of ways. But yes, I shall sign off, and I shall see you in next week's video. Bye.